Thurman is not that great of a boxer. Strong?
Yes.
Yes. But what else? I get in the ring and try to go blow Keith Thurman? No, I'm not a dummy. But I'm bigger than Keith Thurman. I'm a woman, but I'm bigger.
I mean, aggressively. That's one of his greatest trademarks, one of his greatest weapons and dimensions. He wears you down. He's wearing Thurman down. He fights that kind of pressure fight, still maintains length and height, not giving it up. That's extraordinary.
Claressa Shields said, I've never been beat like that by anybody in my life. I've never had that happen. Claressa, stop. Fought anybody like Sebastian Fundora with that type of advantage on you in your life. You've never done that. Who cares what you've never had happen to you?
Claressa Shields took a jab at Keith Thurman after his loss to Fundora, saying in a live interview that she's a superior boxer. She criticized his ability to handle body shots and questioned his status as a top-level fighter.
Longer. I got better skill. Keith got to land before he can. And then you talking about, he only got to land once. He got to land more than once to get me out of there. But how is he going to take the punch that I give to him? Keith Thurman can't take no body shot.
She doubled down after the Fundora fight, taking to Twitter to mock Keith Thurman, saying he was beaten so badly the referee had to step in. She added that she's never taken that kind of punishment, especially in a world title bout. This rivalry isn't new. Shields had previously claimed she could beat Thurman, while he brushed off her comments, accusing her of seeking attention through trash talk.
Anticipation on a terrific fight, highly anticipated fight. They just wake up to some new boxing drama. And I walked the little red carpet to go to the fight. And the last person on that red carpet brought up Claressa Shields. Are you aware, Keith Thurman, that Claressa Shields called you out this morning? And I said, yeah, I'm aware. My boy texted me in the morning about this, about her comment. So I found it from a third party. Like, I'm aware of it. And then, what's your response? You don't ask Keith Thurman for a response and not get a response.
Many in the boxing world view this as Claressa Shields trying to stir up a rivalry with Keith Thurman, despite there being no scheduled fight or potential match between them.
Now you act like y'all sworn enemies and like, you getting beat up. Ain't nobody did that to me. You never fought a Fundora. So, of course, nobody did it to you. There's no one in the whole women's talent pool that fight like Fundora or that could Fundora. Any of them. Katie Taylor, put Katie Taylor with Fundora or anybody else for that matter. Bro, what are we talking about? Right? Made the video about that. Check that on the channel. That's all I'll say about that. Then this comes across the desk. Like, it is literally getting unbelievable. I made this post. Claressa Shields tells a fan that Papoose, her boyfriend, was not at Cardi B's concert because he was at home eating her out.
Claressa didn't hold back, adding, "Fight back, Keith, just out here getting punched and moving the wrong way sometimes." Continuing her critique, Shields insisted she's never been dominated the way Thurman was by Sebastian Fundora.
About Keith Thurman for this fabricated beef when he didn't never really even start anything with you. You don't really have a real beef other than you saying you want to fight a man. For me, it's corny, right? It's corny. And you're black, Keith Thurman's black, and you're just taking it to a whole nother level like y'all have some real beef. The other thing for me that I can't get down with is I don't like when people see a performance like Fundora and almost like claim credit for it, right? Somebody left me a comment. Oh, and Keith Thurman really wanted to fight Terrence Crawford.
Analysts push back, noting that Shields hasn't faced anyone like Fundora before, an opponent with his size, style, and relentless pressure.
So much, you know what I mean? So there's that. But then also Claressa Shields, right? Where you're almost, hey, ain't nobody did that to me. But you didn't fight Fundora. In fact, your whole career as a pro, you've never fought a Fundora. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Name somebody that Claressa Shields ever fought in the women's league, right? In all her fights, she got under 20 fights, that you felt could beat Sebastian Fundora, that you felt was the female equivalent of a Sebastian Fundora. So why are you bragging about this? I don't get it. Why are you bragging that another man did that to another man? Like somehow you're connected.
Boxing analyst Fannin commented that Claressa is crossing the line with her remarks, sounding increasingly disrespectful and even delusional with everything she's been saying about Keith Thurman lately.
Also look at Claressa Shields from the perspective of Sebastian Fundora. Claressa Shields has also never put a beating on anybody like that. Never has. Put a beating like Sebastian Fundora put on Sebastian Fundora on Keith Thurman. Claressa Shields has never put that type of beating on a woman. Not like that. Not where they're like, oh my God, this is life-threatening. That's life-threatening weapons from this man. Punching down, turning down on this guy. Look, man, people say a lot of things about Sebastian Fundora. The way that he's marketed is not accurate. That is a nasty, mean, and I think, man, unfair competitor. Like, seriously, bro, these people, even his little sister, I don't care if they put those glasses on and then they act like all smiley and stuff in front of the camera like they're nerds. They're not. Those people are very mean, very, very, very calculating, and very dangerous competitors.
Fannin acknowledged Claressa Shields as a highly skilled and tough boxer who has contributed a lot to the sport. However, he criticized her recent behavior toward Keith Thurman, calling it over the top, obnoxious, and disrespectful. He noted that her comments ignored the context of Thurman's fight against Sebastian Fundora, who had clear advantages in age, size, and skill. Despite being a massive underdog, Thurman showed courage and professionalism in the ring. Fannin emphasized that every boxer, including Shields, deserves respect for their efforts, and her unnecessary trash talk undermines the achievement of fighters who take real risks.
The ring one time in a couple years, 2 times in a few years. He's moving up to a weight class. He's in a weight class where Sebastian Fundora is the most dangerous guy in the weight class. He's 36, 37 years old. Sebastian Fundora is in his late 20s, mid to late 20s. This is if you know anything about the sport of boxing, this is designed pretty much for Sebastian Fundora to get Keith Thurman's name on his resume. And Keith Thurman is not stupid enough not to know that. But yet he was brave enough and he was risking it enough, willing to risk it enough to get in the ring with that kid. And a lot of people would not do that. You're going to see that when people start trying to unify. You're going to see what a dangerous person Sebastian Fundora is, specifically for a guy of the dimensions of a Keith Thurman.
Blue Blood Sports TV's host criticized Claressa Shields for her recent remarks about male boxers. Despite her professional record of 18 wins, no losses, and 3 knockouts, Shields has shown a pattern of disrespect toward male fighters. The host noted that she was once dropped by Hannah Gabriels and has never faced opponents like Keith Thurman, Rolando Raleigh Romero, or Gennady Triple G Golovkin, yet claimed she could beat them. He also highlighted that Sebastian Fundora stands 6 feet 6 inches with an 80-inch reach, is a former WBO and WBC junior welterweight champion, and a legitimate world-class fighter.
Shields may be bored in boxing, in men's and women's boxing, but Claressa Shields, on numerous occasions, has now decided that it's okay. She's so comfortable that it's okay to disrespect her male counterparts. She's 18 wins, no loss, no draw, 3 wins by way of knockout. Claressa Shields has been dropped in her career by Hannah Gabriels. In the past, she stated that she could beat former unified welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman. She also stated that she can beat Rolando Raleigh Romero, 2-division world champion.
Despite this, Shields dismissed Fundora as unskilled and claimed she could defeat him, which the host called delusional. He further explained that male and female fighters have different physical attributes, making comparisons to Raleigh Romero or Keith Thurman flawed. The host stressed that her comments undermine the achievements of legitimate fighters like Thurman and Fundora, and that such comparisons are unnecessary and disrespectful.
Made the ridiculous statement that she can compete with Gennady Triple G Golovkin. Now, Claressa Shields takes to social media to clown Keith one-time Thurman after he got battered and brutally beaten yesterday. to his record is now 31 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 23 wins by way of knockout. He has more knockouts than Claressa Shields has fights. He took on the Towering Inferno, a cheat code. The former unified WBO, WBC, junior middleweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Sebastian Fundora, who is now 24 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 16 wins by way of knockout. Sebastian Fundora is 28 years old, stands at 6'6", with an 80-inch arm reach, competing at 154 pounds.
Tim Bradley broke down the fight with precision, highlighting how Sebastian Fundora executed a near-perfect game plan. Fundora knew Thurman very well, Bradley said. All he did was step back out of range, showing his preparation and understanding of his opponent's movements. He emphasized Fundora's reach advantage, 11 inches longer than Thurman, which made positioning and landing punches extremely difficult. Bradley explained how Fundora could quickly move and reset, keeping Thurman off balance while delivering shots from multiple angles that turned into whipping strikes, leaving Thurman vulnerable. He also praised Fundora's ring intelligence and credited his family's influence, noting that his sister might even surpass him in skill.
You can do. Look, you had Fundora came with a game plan, and he knew you very well. Oh, he knew. He knew you before you attack. You kind of like your feet shuffle, and then you explode in with combinations. All he did was step back out of range. I told y'all that motherfucker been working on the step back game to keep his distance. I told y'all. You know, shit. Did y'all hear him after? What'd he say? Let me put my glasses on so I can see you. I told you that motherfucker can't see, but he can feel. He can feel. He can feel. He poking around. He can feel. Yeah. Shit. Stevie Wonder can see a little bit too. Don't let that motherfucker fool you. Stevie Wonder can see a little bit. Ray Charles, he can see a little bit too. Hell yeah, they can see a little bit. Yeah. Shit, you don't listen to their songs. They be seeing your ass. Trust me.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.